Gilmore Grand. He showed me his house in a he showed me his house in a picture of a tree we used to walk by when we were in band. I needed someone to talk to. I knew he would give me help. I started to tell him about my delusions and hallucinations. This is the congressman we're talking about. I told him not to respond, but listen. I didn't want to get attached to any unavailable man. I knew he loved me. He had a certain kind of girl he was looking for, and I knew I was never going to be it. But I knew he cared for me. He could save me from my mental drowning sea I was in. And at the time, I started to feel like I was being hunted, that the cartel was hunting me to kill me. I started to think they stole my son. The boy that lived with me was not my son. Then I went looking for my son. He was alive and well, living with me. I knew that this was a delusion, but it felt real. It was the scariest delusion. I wasn't sleeping, then I blacked out and wrote my delusions on Facebook. I deleted it without reading, but it was too late. My loved ones called the police and told them to do a wellness check on me. This was building. Everyone was trying to get me help, and I refused. I went to work with my sister. I was a server. I was worried about money, and she knew me well and I couldn't hide my mental health. My friend who I was texting my delusions, he teamed up with my sister to come up with a plan to help me. They called my husband to get my son. Then shortly after, the cops came. It was the day after I woke up to a knock on my door, and at the time I thought people were trying to kill me. I was scared. He said he was there for a welfare check. I later found out that 30 people called. He asked to come in and look around. I was in a nightdress and no underwear. He couldn't leave. I asked him to leave, but he refused. I started to cry, begging him to stand on the porch. I'm heightened state of panic, thinking he was going to RIP me or kill me. Then I lightly pressed against him to the door. Then he slammed me against the wall and said that he was arresting me. Then he started yelling at me I was resisting arrest. I was fighting him. I thought he was a fake cop trying to kidnap me or kill me. I'm paranoid schizophrenic and deep in a conspiracy theorist, and a lot of delusions of a foundation of conspiracy theory that I've researched. It was who I was, and everyone knew. I spent my life since 9/11 distrusting the government, researching global elite. I was obsessed with human trafficking. I had gone down more rabbit holes than Alice herself. That one moment with the cop, my dress is now exposing myself. After the cop shows up, I knew another cop shows up and I knew him. He let me go and I sat on the porch telling them off. And at the time I was strong for mania. Then they left and my sister showed up and I asked her to leave me alone. She did. Then she left and got a court order to hospitalize me. She saved my life. It doesn't sound I don't mean it to sound like it sounds. Like my sister saved my life. I knew the cop was coming back, so I got in my car and I took my laptop to my friend that I used to work with. He is a psychologist and my therapist, and along with a close friend from working closely together for years. I told him that I felt like a different person to keep my laptop. I didn't want my sister to read my books. I told him where we worked. I told him we worked together and I wanted to write a book. He still has the laptop. I don't want it back. It's just a reminder of my illness. He likely called the cops as well. I had several people reach out to me and everyone knew something was wrong. I was gone. When I got home that night, the cops showed up. He told me they had a court order, then they told me that my best friend was there and that they would let me go to the hospital with her. I went willingly, relieved. I was exhausted. Then I went to the inpatient facility. I stared at the medical staff and thought that used to be me. I thought this was my lowest I've been in my life. When I get out, I'm going to get better. I stayed for 3 weeks. I got out and medications killed me. I missed my mania. I didn't know how to live without my mental illness symptoms. I couldn't talk or think. I took some time off work and my sister Cheryl came to live with me. I took her to rehab after my mom died. She was doing better and I couldn't not work, so I went back part time. Long story short, Justin and I dated after the Creed concert. Justin and I dated, but after the Creed concert, I got on Facebook dating. A sweet guy said, I'm a sweetheart, I promise. Now, that guy stalks my pages to this day, and I think he is not the sweetheart that he said he promised to be. And I don't really want to read this letter, but I will. I had one word sentences, numbed him in, thinking it's just a line. He continued with sweet words, and I thought, how sweet. I gave him my number. His name was Eric. He was eager, and I like primal desire. And if that desire is also met with respect and safety, it was something to be open to. I scheduled a date, and usually I would find a million reasons to cancel, but something in his words made me keep the date. I was nervous, not feeling great about myself. I had put on weight, and my medications changed my face. Scared I would say something or do something he wouldn't like me. I got lost finding the restaurant, thinking this was too far to thinking this was far too fancy of a place for a kind of girl like me. I wore a nice dress with my Crocs. I walked around looking for the place, and once I found the place, I got the table. He appeared, and he was handsome, and I love IT men, which was a part of the attraction. When I looked for a man, I wanted to have attraction. I want a hungry man with a kind heart. That was who I was looking for. He was a gentleman, and I thought he was a gentle man. The conversation flowed with ease, and I laughed for the first time in a long time. This was right after the terrible Creed concert. I was still a little mixed signals, not wanting to be a girl who played games, thinking it was just to be a date and nothing would come of it. I went on another date around the same time, but it was this guy who was pro Biden, and I was like, I'm never going to be with someone who likes Biden. The date with Eric, this date with Eric, it was perfect. I felt chemistry and safety. He walked me to my car and he said we could have fun. We could go kayaking. I love kayaking. I loved to canoe with Johnny when I was 17. I thought it was a sign, believing in angel signs. Then we hugged. And I thought it was a great date, but I was scared. Now, in my schizophrenia, I posted a bunch of stuff on the internet. I don't have a problem with this guy. I would honestly like if he was a real person, but everybody is a human trafficker to me, so I'm investigating everyone. I just talked to Shane, and I'm in love with Shane. He's probably going to be my next husband, I would imagine, so keep an eye on that. He talks so sweetly to me, and he tells me these sweet things, and he calms me, and he listens to me, and he teases me. He has some darkness on him, and there's things that I worry about, but overall, like, he is just a wonderful person to me. He's loyal to me. He said that he values me, which is what I really want in somebody, to value me, and he desires me, and I trust him. I trust him more than I would trust anybody right now. Except for Jacob. I always trust Jacob, but Jacob doesn't want to be in my life, and I'm listening to his silence. Because when they're silent, I need to listen to them. But he would also say in the same breath, like, don't be silent. If you need to talk about stuff, you go ahead and you get it off your chest, and you tell me what it is you need from me in a way that is reasonable. But I have to let go of Jacob. I feel that. I hold on to him because he's my childhood and he's in my adulthood, and I just hold on to this feeling of closeness that I only feel with him. I feel this deep closeness with him that is indescribable. He needs me to detach from him, and I need to detach from him so that way I can love Shane fully. But Shane wants me to go slow with everything and take it day by day, which I hear him, because he's picked up that I'm very much like, I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and even on the canoe. So I'm very full steam ahead on the love train. So backing up from that, Jacob's been on my mind because he's always on my mind. So I'm just always thinking about him and hoping he's well. But I'm also thinking about Justin, thinking about Shane, thinking about the therapist, thinking about Jesse, I'm thinking about Josh, I'm thinking about Mac and Cheese, I'm thinking about everybody. Especially because it's the end of the world and I want to make sure that everyone surrounds me and gives me love in case I have to fight the New World Order. And remember my life story. Because it will be, it's gonna shake the world. Rockets and stuff go off. They're just gonna continue with life as normal. They're just gonna be like, what? We're satanic pedophiles? You guys got problems with that? What? What's the big deal? Breathe in and out, Stacy. You cannot save the world. It's only gonna get you into trouble. But what are we gonna do?